Well, first of all, you have institutions that, as they have been organized, are not in favor of any change. And they are pretty powerful, like the World Trade Organization, which actually, promotes the profits of the big transnational corporations. That's in essence what it is, although it assumes to be something much wider. So there are those institutions. So the only thing I see, and they are not willing to change, or they can change very superficially, just a little bit here or a little bit there, to look nicer, but the type of change that would be really needed, will not come from those institutions. Nor the World Bank, although the World Bank today is a little bit more enlightened than it was, say, 10 or 15 years ago, but not sufficiently. So I think that will happen, and this is, for me, the realistic way of looking at it. Things will change after the system collapses. And I believe that the system will collapse from the side of finance, because what happens today in terms of the financial activities is that practically all of them are speculation. We are practically, as Hazel Henderson has called it, living in a gigantic casino. Speculation, exchange rate speculation alone, amounts to about $1 trillion a day, which is absolutely unimaginable. It's astronomical. And even to show it in a more dramatic way, the volume of the money volume of speculation is 50 times more than the real economy of exchange of goods and services. So you see, that's absolutely unimaginable. It's absurd. That is impossible to be sustained. And in addition, because it is beyond any control, not all the central banks together, are capable of controlling that speculation. And that speculation can provoke almost overnight tremendous impacts in many countries. The crisis in Southeast Asia, a few years ago, was the product of exchange rate speculation. And that doesn't pay taxes, so it doesn't help at all to any process of development.
So it's a completely...
It's just money playing with money, And that cannot continue for much longer, I believe. That is one side. The other side may come from a collapse, which would be a reaction of nature. In particular, I believe that climate change, the effects of climate change are accelerating far beyond what the most negative predictions, not predictions, in science you don't have predictions, scenarios that were constructed by scientists, say 5, 6 years, 7 years ago. It's much faster. And, well, we cannot imagine in advance what that may represent. Well, we had a dramatic case now in Asia, but there could be things much worse than that. And dramatic impacts in agriculture, in the destruction of biodiversity that may make enormous extensions of land totally useless for production. And that cannot be calculated in advance, but we know that that is going to happen. How soon or not, we don't know. That is unpredictable, but the only thing we know is that it is dramatically accelerating. So you have these two pillars that may collapse. Which collapses first? Again, I cannot say. But those are the vulnerable elements of this gigantic economic system.